right, so today, pretty awesome. We're going to be talking about, should you join a team? So right now in 2018, really, teams are coming alive. They're really starting to dominate the market, and they're really the whole real estate landscape, and they're starting to bump the single agents out of the business. I know it's a huge statement, but it's the reality. So as a lot of agents are going through real estate school, just passing their test, maybe been licensed, a short time frame, they're really starting to consider this, and they just want information about how is the best way to consider, learn more about a team and consider joining it. So some of the things we're going to talk about in this video, should you join a team? Are you a good fit for a team? How do you pick the right team? Why are teams dominating the market? Leads, we're going to talk about the type of leads that a team might, should, or could give you. Their systems and processes. 5 of the top money-making activities that you should be focusing on. And most importantly, commission splits, right? Everybody wants to know, what's my commission split? How much money am I going to make? So obviously that's really important to all of us because we all have to support our family and be able to live a reasonable or good life. So we definitely want to make sure that we're making the necessary money. All right, so everybody wants to know, should I join a team, and am I a good fit for a team? So let's kind of touch on that a little bit. So teams are starting to dominate the market because the real estate transactions are getting very complicated. There's just so much more to it now. There's so much more going on, so much litigation, what consumers expect from you, knowledge to know, larger cities. So it's really hard to be a single agent anymore. But also more importantly, most of the technology applications that are happening, and if you're not using technology today, then you're going to be out of the business. So the technology applications today, because they're so expensive, it's really just not feasible for a single agent to own these solutions or lease these solutions or use them as far as lead generations, CRMs, video, email. There's so many things out there that are the consumer expects and to be part of their experience. If you're not using those, you're going to be pushed out of the business. And really the statement that I tease my team about is, are you still faxing? Here we are, we're 2018. I haven't had a fax number in 6 or 7 years at least. And that's because technology has changed. So if you're not staying up with the times in business, other people are, and you're going to get pushed out. So that's why teams are starting to dominate the market, because the technology experience, we can have better systems, better processes, because there's more team members on the team to support that heavy expense. Also, transaction coordinators. A team, one agent typically has a hard time affording a transaction coordinator to facilitate all the paperwork, to where a team has enough business coming in that we can have multiple transaction coordinators. So if one is sick or needs to go on vacation, we're still always having our transaction coordinator. But more importantly, the consumer nowadays, as they should, they're expecting a 5-star experience. They want to actually have a knowledgeable agent that knows that area of the city, whether they're selling or buying, whichever the case is. They want you to actually be able to answer their questions and walk them through a process that closes on time, so they're not living in a hotel room or have their life in complete chaos. This is a huge transaction, and most people don't, when they're hiring somebody, they're not really considering that enough on the consumer side. But they start learning as they start going through the process that, it can be a very, very stressful experience when you choose the wrong person. So teams are starting to dominate more because they get specialized. So one of the examples I like to give is, if you go to a restaurant, there's a hostess, there's a manager, there is a server, there's a busser, there is a cook, there is a prep cook, there's a dishwasher. So all of these people are specialized in the business. But yet here in real estate, as many years as we can think of, they're trying to be this like lone wolf, jack of all trades out there doing it all. And the truth is it's just too much for one person to be a specialist on. So as like with our team, we dedicate, our transaction coordinators, who works with buyers, who works with sellers. There's certain areas of town because they live in that area, they know it better. So it's really important to make sure that when you're thinking of joining a team, you really consider, does the single agent model work anymore in today's market? So teams should be bringing, when you think about, are you a good fit? Are you going to be able to wear all those hats? First of all, are you coachable? One of the things that I'm looking for in the interview process is, this person that I'm interviewing, are they a know-it-all? And anything I say, they're not going to listen to anyways. I don't really need somebody like that on my team. So if you're a know-it-all, it's going to be tough probably, joining a team. If you're open-minded, you're coachable, and you can come in and say, man, I don't know real estate. I'm brand new in the business. Teach me. And I have an open mind with a great attitude. That is going to be the most important quality for somebody looking to join a team. How do you choose the right team? Wow, that's a big question. The good news is nowadays, there's so much public information out there that you can actually do some due diligence on your own, really before ever interviewing the team or meeting up with them. And some of the spots to look on are some of your major websites like Zillow or Realtor.com. They're actually like an aggregator of data. So for instance, they'll pull in the transaction volume that you've done, over the last 12, 18, or 24 months. Each one's a little bit different. They'll show you your reviews of what consumers are saying about your past, how you treated them and how your skill set was with them. So when you're looking at, interviewing a team to join, that's the first place I'd be looking. If this team isn't doing any business and you can't find them anywhere on the web, then why are they looking to hire more people? So there are a lot of teams out there that work more off quantity, not quality. So they'll hire anybody. It doesn't matter. If you say, I want to be on your team, you're on. And the reason is because they're not really providing anything. I know I can't hire everybody that wants to join my team. I only hire select individuals because I know how much effort we put into our team members for training, for building their skills, for making sure that they're the best at what they do. And we could never bring on that many agents. I know of a team here that has 130 agents on their team, and they're all doing very little transactions. They're not experts in the market. That's not what we're looking for. So when you're looking to join the right team, you definitely want to make sure that you're going and you're interviewing. You want to make sure you like the team leader. Do you trust them when you're sitting across from them? The stuff that they're saying, are they giving you anything in writing, showing you anything in writing? Are they going to have you sign a contract that breaks everything down with commission splits and expectations, how many leads you're going to get on average? What all are they giving you? So definitely look into that public information to find out transactional volume. You want to know how many team members do they have, but more importantly, how much money are those team members making? How many deals are they closing? If they have a bunch of agents on the team closing 3 and 4 transactions a year, but you want to close 25, then there's an obvious disconnect. So if you want to make $125,000 or $150,000 a year and all their agents are making $50,000, there's a disconnect. So you do need to know, what you want out of this business before you ever go and start interviewing teams. Certain teams have more requirements than others. We pretty much know that 80% of teams out there have no requirements. They pretty much just hire anybody and you just go, it's like being almost a standalone agent. Okay, so let's talk about leads. When you're joining a team, one of the main reasons you should be joining a team, I would assume, besides, training and education, is leads. So there's a big diversity in what teams consider leads. There's the quality of the leads, there's the quantity of the leads, there's the price point that they go after. Does the team leader cherry pick the best leads off the top and leave, all the rest long-term leads for the other agents on the team? And, most importantly, how many deals are the agents closing on the team from those leads? So, you can't base, because you ask a team leader, how many leads am I going to give, and one says 100 and one says 10, you cannot base your decision off that. You have to dig in and go a little bit deeper. What lead sources are they coming from? Are they using Zillow, Realtor, Trulia? Is it from their websites? Is it open houses? Is it mailers? What are they doing to generate these leads for you? Ask them what their conversion rates are. See if they know the answer to that. Price point. You have to decide on what price point do you want to work at. There are some people that only feel comfortable in $150,000, $200,000. Some people that only feel comfortable at $750,000 or $5 million, whatever that number is. So you have to make sure that the team that you're considering joining is actually going after the right price point. How can you figure this out? I talked about it in one of the other sections. It's go to the public information. Go check out their Zillow website. What price point of homes are they closing? If they're closing the price point of homes that you want to sell, that's probably a good consideration. If they're closing homes that are way less than you want to sell, why is it going to change for you? Are you going to be better? Maybe it's just the leads that they're coming in, because here's what team leaders have to decide. What I can tell you is where homes are more expensive, leads are more expensive to purchase. So some team leaders try to take the approach of, let's pay less money for leads. There'll be a lower price point, but hey, we're saving money. So they think, right? So, and again, now how many deals are the agents closing on their team? If they don't have other agents on their team closing a lot of deals from the leads, then they're just spinning their wheels. Either they're not good quality leads, or worse, the team leader doesn't have those proper systems and processes in place to teach you scripts and do role playing to convert these leads into closings. I know that seems like a lot, but this business is all about, got to have leads. You've got to be able to convert those leads into buyers and sellers that want to work with you, and then they have to close. You do all the work you do in this business is for free until a deal closes. So what are the conversion rates? You got to know this stuff. If they tell you they're going to give you 10 leads and the conversion rate is 10%, you're going to close one deal per month. They're going to give you 100 leads and it's 2%. You got to do the math, right? You're going to close 2 deals per month with a lot of work. 98 other people aren't going to buy. So leads are all, you got to really dig into that just to learn a little bit more. We've definitely heard a lot of nightmare stories in this city about the team leaders cherry picking the best leads. So what does that mean? That means that if all the leads come in and the first contact that they have is with the team leader or with the admin or the ISA of the team leader, and they're cherry picking and getting the ones that are ready to do a transaction right now, they're like ready to go. And all you're going to get is everybody else that's ready to, close 6 months down the road. So you have to nurture these a lot longer. That's called cherry picking, or their price points. They take all above a certain price point. All right, so one of the main reasons you should be joining a team is for the systems and the processes. If a team is missing that, then you need to look for another team because you might as well just go out and be a sole single agent if they're not going to have systems and processes that they can plug you in to be successful. So some of those things would be administrative assistants. Do they already have somebody that handles the paperwork after you get a deal under contract? Or do they have the ISA that handles the leads that come in and distributes them properly, again, look back to my lead segment, are they just going to the team leader, or are they being fairly distributed? Team meetings, do they have a weekly team meeting that really, keeps the whole team up to speed on everything that's going on, and kind of like a mastermind session for best practices? What kind of training or skills building are they doing? Technology, do they have some of the best technology out there that helps you convert leads and to close the business at a higher percentage? Technology is big right now in today's competitive market. Scripts and role play, are they providing you with scripts that help you have the right things come out of your mouth so that you can end up working with more buyers and sellers, just because you aren't saying what the other 95% of agents are saying out there that don't study any scripts? And role playing. The worst thing that you could do is pay for leads and start saying stuff to leads without, you should be practicing on other team members or with the team leader to make sure that you're saying the right things. And to give you an example, before we use scripts, I had a seller that was coming here from the East Coast, and I said, well, I can guarantee I know why you're moving here, because you're tired of the winters. And he said, no, actually the winters have been my favorite part for the 17 years that I've lived there. And I realized I had put my foot in my mouth. And then once I started studying scripts, I realized now I say, what would ever make you leave where you live at now? That's it. In other words, I'm not putting the information in the person's mouth. I'm allowing them to answer the question for me, just because I've actually practiced scripts and I've role played, and now I'm allowing them to tell me why they're moving to Las Vegas and leaving Chicago. So you really want to make sure that the team that you're considering going on does have all these systems and processes. If they're a new team and you're going to be I call the crash test dummy, be careful. If you're going to be the main income provider for your family and you absolutely must make an income, you have to take this process very serious about which team you're going to join, because 6 months of no income because you joined the wrong team without the right systems and processes, could be detrimental to your career, and you could have to go back to your previous job just to make ends meet. So very, very important that you're considering the right team with the right systems and processes. Estate business, there's 5 money-making activities, and that's when you're going on appointments, meeting with buyers or sellers, when you're showing homes, when you're writing contracts, when you're negotiating offers, and when you're prospecting. So you should be doing those in this business 85% of the time. The problem is the sole agent or the new person in the business, or sometimes a 15-year-long agent in the business, is spending 85% of their time trying to put out the fires and do the paperwork. And that's why they're not successful in this business. So when you are looking at joining a team, you need to make sure, we've talked about the systems and processes, but you need to make sure that those systems and processes are helping you focus on these 5 activities. These are the highest dollar per hour activities that you could ever do. So if you want to make money like an attorney or a doctor, then you need to be focusing on those 5 money-making activities. And the team needs to have others that are already on the team as an administrative position that handles everything else, so that you can be the best that you can be in regards to sales and helping buyers and sellers and freeing you up of all that other time. Commission splits. Wow, this is always probably the biggest topic to talk about, because everybody's so focused on commission splits. So before you tune me out about commission splits, the biggest thing that I need to help you understand is your commission split is irrelevant if you're not putting checks in the bank. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is, if one team is promising you a higher commission split, but they don't have everything in line that we talked about, they don't have a proven track history of success, They don't have other agents on the team making this money. They don't have systems, processes, admins. They're just giving you a high commission split. If you're not closing any deals, that means nothing. Zero times anything is still zero. So as you're going through the process, take the commission splits with a grain of salt. You need to dive deeper in. So many agents get stuck on a commission split versus how much money am I going to deposit in my bank to feed my family, to pay my bills, because that's the most important thing in the world, is that you have a stable income for years to come to provide for your family and give you what you need. So commission splits, it's all should be relevant to what the team offers you. Okay, the more layers, the more structure of administrative staff that allows you to do the 5 money-making activities should dictate the commission splits. So if they have full-time transaction coordinators for you that handle all this, if they have somebody that orders the signs and puts up the listing signs for you, and information hotline signs, and puts lock boxes on the property and meets the photographer there, if they have ISAs in-house that are fielding a lot of the calls that are coming in and only handing people off to you that are ready to go, buyers and sellers, and they're nurturing people in the background. There's so much to this business that you can't just say what's your commission split and make a decision based on that, because you could have a 90% split, you could have a 80, 70, 60, 50, 40. Some people play games and they say, well, we have this administrative fee, which is 5% off the top, and then we roll into our commission splits, which are this. So, and then are they going to be putting that in writing? And when they put it in writing, does that say what they told you about through the interviewing process? So the most important thing is what do they give you for the splits? I can't warn you enough. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. There are so many teams out there that do not have, I call them misfit teams. They do not have the proper systems, administrative staff, leads. They do not have anything in place. So they're offering higher commission splits. And if you really think about it, what are you getting for that? You can go to Realty One Group, which is a great broker, and pay $100 a month and get 100% commission split. Why do you need to be on a team that doesn't have any systems and processes that's going to benefit you to help you get checks in the bank? We cover all expenses on the team. We cover all technology. We cover all leads. One of the things I did not talk about yet was open houses. Most teams, you're going to have to go somewhere, get 5 or 6 open house signs, and put those out yourself, and you're going to be required to do open houses to build your business. So we look at it a little bit differently. Again, we are a team. We run and operate like a team. So what we do is we actually have a person that puts out open house signs. We believe in the philosophy, go big or go home. We do not just put out 5 or 6 signs. We put out 40 signs on average for our open houses. It takes about 2 hours for a truck to go around and put all these out. Our agents show up. They're well scripted. They're there to do what they do best, which is help buyers and sellers with homes. Their specialties shouldn't be wearing dress shoes and makeup and everything and going out and putting out signs and picking up signs when it's 110 degrees or 30 degrees. They're agents. They're not to put out signs. So we pay for all the signs to be put out so that the agents can do what they do best. Again, that's not something that most teams do. So what do you get for your commission split? That's what's more important that you need to know. How much time do you have to do those 5 commission generating activities? Or are you the admin? Are you the runner? Are you this? Are you that? Yeah, you're getting a higher commission split, but your per hour, what you're making per hour is going down substantially because you're out there doing all these activities that you shouldn't be doing when you need to be focusing on higher dollar activities. So I hope that this information was helpful to you when you're considering joining a team.